Let's see this limit question. So limit when x approaches to 0, right? And 0 is not in the domain of this function. Because if x is 0, we have something divided by 0. Does not exist in mathematics. So what do? We see we have radicals here. And remember in algebra class, sometimes we rationalize the numerator. Right? It's exactly for this kind of purposes. So we multiply by the conjugate of these two, which means we want to multiply by plus. We want to multiply by, well, x plus 2, we can write it as 2 plus x. Square root of 2 plus x plus square root of 2 minus x. Then we have to multiply in the denominator the same thing, because we can only multiply by 1. And 1 is a transformer. It can be anything divides itself. So the numerator we see we have difference of 2 squares. Those two are the conjugates of the difference of 2 squares. So let's carry on the limit sign x equals to 0. And we have the first one square root, square cancel out. So the numerator will have x plus 2 minus, or 2 plus x, minus 2 minus x. Whenever we subtract more than one term, we put a parenthesis around, right? Then divided by x times square root of 2 plus x plus square root of 2 minus x. So the numerator we see have positive 2, negative 2 cancel each other. The negative x become positive x. So the numerator will have 2x. And denominator will have x times square root of 2 plus x plus square root of 2 minus x. Now, again, we see something marvelous is happening by doing this. Rationalize the numerator. We see x as a factor in the numerator, x as a factor in the denominator. So those two cancel to be 1. Something divides itself, x divided by x, that's 1. So now we observe again. So 0 now is in the domain of this newly formed function. So if 0 is in the domain, we just plug in. Right? Numerator is 2 left. Denominator we have 2 plus 0, which is square root of 2. 2 minus 0, still square root 2. So we have 1 square root 2 plus 1 square root 2, that's 2 square root 2. Then we see this 2 over 2 becomes 1, and 1 over square root 2. Usually we don't leave irrational number in the denominator. We call rationalize. Right? We multiply square root 2 divided by square root 2. Well, that becomes square root 2 over 2. And that's it. So the limit when x approaches 0 for this function is square root 2 over 2. Hope that makes sense.